Thank you, and welcome back for part 3 of 4 of this week 4's campaign for Destiny Horizon. And we are going to start off with Valerie and Grakaza. The atmosphere fades away, the fake clouds kind of fade away from the windows as the scenery around you goes from the purple haze of the sky to the pitch blackness of night. And before you, you see that the fleet looks divided. It looks like a lot of the, I'd say probably half the civilian ships are breaking off away from the main fleet and headed for the ring.
Contact the Folly. Tell them we're on our way, and just sit tight. Don't follow the others.
The pilot looks over at you. Valerie, would you like to do that? He motions.
Sure.
Comms.
All right.
Yeah, so you hit the comms.
Folly, this is Dr. Eftashui.
Oh, thank God it's you. Are you all right?
Yeah, for the most part. It looks like you're on the move. Why don't you hold in place till we get there? We're on our way. Finally.
We don't know what's going on with the other ships, but they
don't follow them in.
They had a disagreement with the commander.
Oh joy! If you can talk to the rest of them, well, you know what?
We've been doing that all day, but with the captain,
all right.
And they kind of
just hold in place. Don't go anywhere.
He's been terribly hurt, Valerie.
I know. That's what I heard. That's what I'm trying to get back. So we're on our way. So please just hold in place until we get there.
Well, if you don't mind, the captain of the agricultural ship would like to communicate with you.
Sure.
He's the one leading the advance to the ring.
All right.
We'll send you his contact information.
All right.
So they send you the contact information.
Do you have a name?
I'm going to say it's Captain Rifus. R-H-Y-F-U-S. Rifus. Definitely no relation to Richard Dreyfuss. And you know him to be a Rhodian.
Okay.
He's a botany scientist.
All right. So I will contact the agricultural ship.
You actually see the agricultural ship heading towards the ring. It's this long cylindrical fuselage with all these hemisphere globes all over it. Yeah, and inside's the plants growing. It's the largest one. And behind it is a casino ship that's following him, like a huge luxury yacht. And behind that are a bunch of civilian transport vessels, and you also see a couple other mining vessels following.
This is Dr. Eftashui to agricultural ship. I need to speak with Captain Rifus. Come in, please.
And all of a sudden, this Rhodian's face appears on the screen, and he's like, "You've reached Captain Rifus."
Captain Rifus, I just have returned from the planet. You and the rest of the civilian fleet might want to just hold in place for a little bit while we finish making preparations for landing, and so there'll for whatever repairs need to be done. I wouldn't approach right away before we can finish with the negotiations with them. It involves some exchange of funds, and we have to sort of work on that. And basically, you're safer up here for the time being. I know it's probably kind of hard with whatever repairs you need, but I wouldn't just try and make an attempt to land. Mine was met with a little, I kind of crashed, but that's a whole other story. But I would stay up here if I were you.
You see the blue skin on his Rhodian features. He's actually got pink spikes, like the tips of his spikes are pink. And
Yes.
He's got the purple orbs, and they just stare at you blankly. Yes, Dr. Eftashui. But you know what? We're not following this rebel fleet around unless we have some goddamn representation.
All right. Well, you might want to just.
They
we're
wanted to
working
put
on all of
soldiers
that,
on our ships. They said something about a spy, and they wanted to put soldiers on our ships, and we refused. Some unkind words were exchanged. One of the hotheads in the rebel fleet suggested blowing us out of orbit, and of course an argument between the ships it was just a mess. I can't handle it. This is not what we signed up for. Listen,
I understand completely.
No, I don't think you do understand.
No, I
had
do.
nothing to do with the Sith artifact, and then when the planet fell, look, this is just you need to fix this, Valerie. This is you and your crew's fault. You're the ones who showed interest in this artifact. You are the ones that insisted our government contact the rebellion. You fix this! And he turns off the comms.
Well, so much for that one. Just go ahead and get us to the Folly.
As you guys are approaching the Folly, you do see the civilian ships are stopping, but now they're forming their own little fleet. Their own little fleet away from the main body. But some of the civilian ships have stayed with the rebellion.
Okay, good.
As you're approaching, I think this is the first time you're looking at the Destiny Horizon, but there are some heinous battle scoring across it as you approach it to go to the Folly.
Okay. So just sitting there and just waiting to dock. I'm gonna check on how is Grakaza? How are you doing? You look not well.
I've been
Not
better.
terrible. Well, maybe once we get you on the ship, we have a few medical technicians who can help you out there too.
Oh, I'm intimately familiar with some of them.
On the Folly?
Oh, on the Folly? No, sorry.
Yeah.
He has flashbacks of this crazed Mon Calamari doctor with one eye.
We have no fish people on our ship.
Well, it's not the Mon Calamari. It's just the dock.
Yeah, no. I still think I've told Corin. I think the gas has affected them. You know, that purple gas. I think that purple gas is doing something to them. Whatever it was, it's.
You mean when you left a ship in the middle of combat without prior authorization?
Yes.
In an Imperial shuttle?
Yes.
Sir, do you want me to arrest her?
I smacked the droid.
You smack this taxi droid and he's just like, ah! And he stumbles backward.
No. Never mind, Val.
It's fine.
Yeah, so the shuttle gets up, no problem. You guys have confirmation for the Folly, and it docks underneath the bottom side of the Folly. One of the vertical air hatches open. You have to go up a ladder to get into the Folly. It's not a huge ship, but it's pretty large. It's larger than a freighter, that's for sure. And Valerie, the moment you step up there, it's almost like you're at home. Everything's clean and polished. State-of-the-art computers along the walls. People talking about educational things. Some of them are talking about the gate they just went into and said, I think it was a slipstream. And the other guy's like, well, no, the idea of string theory still hypothetically could exist if you take magnetic points. And you find yourself wanting to converse with them, but you have a mission to do. And you actually end up passing by the sick bay on your way up to the bridge. Do you want to look inside? Or do you just want to keep going? Yeah, you look inside and you see the captain is laying on a bed, and there's a few people talking, but the doctor's face is grim. This doctor, he's not really very good at lying, so even though he looks like he's trying to be confident, you can tell that he's very
I pull him out of the room.
distraught.
Now, is the commander conscious, or is he unconscious?
No, he's sleeping. The Zabrak is just all... You can see the sheet is red in some spots. Yeah, he approaches.
What happened? I mean, where was he at?
We took a lot of damage. One of the pilots was fried, so he took the seat. And unfortunately, when we were hit again, the console erupted. We still have limited control. We can only follow ships at this point. But we've got guys working on it.
Who's in command right now? As far as...
Unfortunately, we don't really have that much of a command structure. You know how it is, so we're trying to deliberate. The rest of the science teams are up on the bridge, but they've been needing you to break a tie.
I'll go up there. Thanks. Keep me apprised of how he's doing. Oh, Grakaza, come here. Is there anything... I introduced... This is Grakaza. He's from the Destiny Horizon. He's a very nice looking...
Everybody's face is... his face just goes cold. Ah.
can you see if there's anything you do, if you notice he's been a little injured, if there's any more that you can possibly do to help him?
I just kind of wave and attempt to smile.
He looks at your face. He's like, and he
he
gets closer to the wound. Whoever did this did very good. Where did you get this wound? It looks like high temperature burning. Were you in the engine core?
No, not really.
Oh, well, why don't you come inside and I'll see what I can do to help.
Okay.
Yeah, you walk inside, a bunch of scientists see you coming in. You know, it's not every day they see a Wookiee aboard their ship. And
I'll tell no, it's the other. He's still here with us, right? Yeah, because the
Johnson is on the shuttle. Nobody's picked him up.
Okay, good.
He's laying on the ground.
Good. We'll leave him stay. We'll leave him there.
A little help, please. No.
and I'll head up to the bridge with Tittles.
So the door opens to the bridge. Brian, since this is a ship of your choosing, why don't you describe to me what the bridge looks like?
Okay. Actually, can I pull up my diagram?
You can pull up your diagram, but then verbally explain.
I will pull up the diagram and explain it to you. Yes. Let me find it.
Let's see what it looks like in your mind.
Okay. It is not very big. I can tell you that. Okay. Okay, here we go.
If you want, we can cut to the others while you're pulling up the diagram.
Please do.
Let's do that.
Going on, sorry.
So the screen wipes, and then we go over to to Lieutenant Reed, who's sitting there, and you just asked a question about him sensing something, right?
Yeah, I just go senses.
Call it an intuition.
Reed will not say anything, but he'll kind of keep that checked in his mind, like, okay.
Yeah, you kind of glance back, and still you have no idea that you don't see anybody trailing you.
Yeah, he'll just sit there and then kind of reach down on his blaster and make sure that it's on fire, like not on stun. And just leave it in the holster.
Perfect. Meanwhile, you see the commissioner checking something on his belt. Looks like a holster for a pistol. And then he kind of... It's like you both are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
Reed will keep looking
this is our
around.
stop. And you notice that the taxi is taking you to a lower part of the city that's kind of darker and dirtier. And there's a bunch of people with mohawks and tattoos down here. It's kind of like a punk scene. And the door opens up. Watch your step. And the commissioner steps off. And as you go to the edge and you look down, you realize you're not on the bottom floor. This is a big canyon of buildings, and you're somewhere in the middle. So if you misstep, you go into oblivion. Think about, have you guys seen the 2013 Star Wars thing that never got made into a game, but should have totally been made into a game?
1313?
1313, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It looks a lot like that chasm where the businesses and the buildings are just all around it, so that larger transport ships can lower themselves in. And in front of you is a brothel. And what is the brothel called, Mr. Reed?
Give me a moment.
My pleasure. We will give you that moment. Meanwhile, Jurg, you see them stop at a brothel, and the two of them step out. And I like that one. If you want to go with that one, Mr. Reed.
I think Jumbo Jang.
Yeah, the Jumbo Jenga.
Yeah, Jumba Jenga is what it's called. And it's got this happy alien with 3 tentacle eyes coming out. They kind of look like a Mr. Gutsy from Fallout. And he's like, Jenga Jonga. And all of a sudden, the other taxi slows down behind him, and Jurg steps off after seeing you guys step out. Jurg, you may not have blended up on the surface, but your whole weird costume is totally meshing in with everybody else's weird costumes down here. You actually see a guy with leather coats and spikes walk by, and he's bald, and he's got like a tattoo of a circuit board on his head, and he sees you and he goes, "Nice digs," and then keeps walking. Corin, why don't you describe one thing you noticed about this brothel?
One thing I notice is
it could be a scene that you see. It could be something physically that you see about it. But what do you notice?
Well, with all the people passing by, there's a bouncer who looks kind of disinterested in everybody. You know, he doesn't look like he's really enforcing.
He's playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, he's kind of doing that. And on the corner, there's somebody who's probably selling drugs to people that are coming out of the thing. And, you know, there's a few drunk people just kind of hanging out and all passed out and, you know, by the front and stuff like that.
I like that. Jurg, what do you notice about the bar?
Instead of neon lights, the lettering or the building of it is kind of lit up by natural lighting of the metallics of like metal or even like a gold coloring, but it's not neon like we're kind of used to, like let's say on Nar Shaddaa or Coruscant. It's the metal itself and the reflection reflects the lettering.
Oh, that's neat. So, like, as a truck goes by and its bright red brake lights shine by, the Jamba Jenga sign is red. And then when it drives away, it's just a reflection of the street lights because this building is very polished, very mirrored. I like that. Reed, you notice as you're looking around, you see the drug dealer and the drunk people. And when the commissioner steps off and straightens himself, the drug dealer looks over, makes eye contact with him, and actually jumps off the edge. You don't see him fall, but you just see him go.
Yeah. He'll kind of step to try to like look over.
The customers who are over at the drug dealer like look over and just scatter. Yeah, you see this guy spider climbing down the wall of the business things. He's like, "I'm out."
Yeah, must be popular around here.
Commissioner goes, "Told you this is my spot. It's a good place to go when I don't want the people above to know where I'm at. It's also a good place to go when I want the people down below to know that I'm still in business."
Good tactic.
And that's when you hear a hurrah coming from the brothel and a bunch of claps. You know, that's weird. This place isn't typically that lively. Now the commissioner's interest is piqued. And he steps cautiously towards the door with his hand on a pistol.
Reed will follow him, but kind of, you know, can I make like a vigilance check just like around me? Kind of see if I know if, like, because he said we were being followed, and Reed would just kind of, you know, make a quick look around.
Yeah, I would do a perception. I think that'll yield you an easier result. Vigilance would be like if whoever was following you was going to attack you, that's when your vigilance would come into check. Because you're like, haha, I'm really good despite being surprised, but...
Yeah. Okay. What would the difficulty be on that? Just because, I mean, it's foreign place.
Difficulty is going to be 3 with a setback.
Okay.
Setback meaning you don't even know where to look. You don't know what walkways lead here. So 1 black die, and then the 3 purple just because it's busy and everybody looks like a freak.
Yeah. Gotcha. And perception. Okay.
Yeah. You take 3 strain.
Okay.
Ouch.
Actually, no, I'm going to say that no, you don't take 3 strain. The 3 threat is that you're looking over and you bump into something. But while you're looking over, you definitely see this weird man in a business suit wearing women's clothing dip into the crowd from a taxi. And Jurg, as you're stepping off your taxi, your bot goes, "Hey! Get back here!"
Oh, yes.
You're muted.
Wow, I hit that thing like 3 times. Oh yeah, sorry about that. And I'll reach in and grab him my credit stick, without even thinking. And
You reach in to go grab him the credit stick, and you feel there's something heavy in the coat pocket of this jacket.
Uh-oh.
okay, feel for it without looking.
It appears to be a wallet of some type. It's got a bunch of cards and chips and
There you go.
identification.
You left out.
I will. Okay. I'm not sure what it is, so I will look at it because he said it was a wallet, and to me, we don't really carry wallets, so I have to figure out what that is.
Yeah, to
And
you
then-
it kind of looks like a passport folder, like the ones that you just hand the checkpoints and stuff so that they can mark things down. But it definitely has something with a lending organization. It's called like the Bankers Guild, and it's got a very metallic finish to it.
Okay.
And his
then-
name is Seaver, the guy who's on this card. Seever, Seaver.
Excellent. That's who I am now.
Now, since you're a professional spy, I will never let you forget. So if somebody addresses you as Seaver, I will remind you out of character that that's you, because I think you would be like Seaver, 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 Seaver. Okay.
That's why I said that's who I am now.
Yeah.
And I will basically look at some of these cards and trying to figure out, like, do any of them look like I mean, can you describe a little bit so I can kind of get an idea?
There's
like,
actually cards
these
to different
cards?
things. There's like cards to the Bankers Guild. There's a cards to the Merchant Mechanics Guild. There's a card to services. He's got a ton of them.
Can I roll a vigilance? Maybe there's a card to this taxi company?
Like a business card or a card to pay? If you're looking
Like-
for a card to pay, you're assuming the Bankers Guild card will do it.
Well, I don't know what that is. I'm just saying from the card itself, like a credit card or anything, it has like a taxi. Because I don't know what card. Remember, these are not like credit sticks to me.
Yeah, you can go ahead and make that check.
Just you understand what I was meaning? Just because it's
Yeah. But
What,
with your you could also roll a knowledge check to try to decipher what it says. But yeah, why don't you roll whatever check you like in order to guess the right card?
okay. So what's the difficulty first?
I'm gonna
Or
say
does that mean
I'm gonna say 3.
3? Okay. And I'm not. So you know what? No, I don't think education would work because I would only work for our galaxy. But it does have other things. Outer Rim, not so much. Lore has to do with history and stuff like that in our galaxy. Underworld could possibly be because
I think
it'd be
Underworld might
different-
work because, stealing a card, I mean, there's going to be places in even your galaxy that you don't understand the language. So identifying which one's his money card wouldn't be that hard if you rolled an Underworld.
Yeah, there we
I'd
go.
make that a 2 difficulty if you did it.
Okay.
Well, with 2 difficulty, you still passed, or with 3 difficulty.
Oh, did I hit
yeah,
3?
you pick the card, and it looks like it's really worn out, and you like, this must be the bank card, because it's
Yep.
used more than any of the other ones.
And I'll
You hand it to
slide
him, and the
to him.
droid goes, "Thank you, sir," and he inserts it in, and he hands it to you. "Have a good day, Mr. Seaver." And the
Very well.
taxi flies away.
And I'll say, shoot that, whatever it is for how rude. I forgot how.
Yeah.
Ituta.
There it is.
So you blend right back into the crowd just as Corin Reed spots this guy, this businessman paying for his taxi. He runs into something like thud,
Oh.
And you turn around, and there is a large 10-foot tall alien with white skin, eyes but no face. He's got 4 eyes up centered in his skull, and his skull is combed back. He's got dreadlocks coming out the back of his skull. He's very humanoid in shape, but he does have a reverse knee joint. And he looks at you and he's like,
Reed will back up and kind of like go around to follow the commissioner and be like, sorry.
and then he continues walking. And the commissioner's like, don't apologize, it makes you look like a wuss.
Duly noted.
Not down here anyway.
Gotcha.
So the commissioner looks around and says, well, this is my hangout. And he opens the door, and there's a lot of shouting and chanting coming, and the bartender is bobbing his head at this music that's playing. And in the room, on the table, there is a slender, tall-looking man with sunken features dancing a circle with a shorter man with red gingery hair and freckles, and they're prancing on this table. Obviously, they've had a little to drink. And in the corner, you see the red cinder of a cigar light up. And then as you walk in, that cigar moves quick, and you see the top portion of a bald head peek over the light in the shadowy corners of the VIP.
Reed is going to look at the commissioner and go, where do you usually sit?
Over there, and he points towards the corner. And then as he walks in, everybody sees the commissioner and fans out and just quiets down. So all that's left behind is, and where'd you all go? Like, heel rude. I do not understand why people.
God, this is where they ended up.
I don't know. I thought we were being cheery chaps, but hey, we've gotten 3 drinks out of it for free. And they nod, and then they hop down and start going towards the back corner that you guys are headed to. The bald man steps forward, his big beard pointed down. He's got foam in his beard from where he was drinking his drink, and he's like, oh, excuse me, we were just about to leave. And he makes eye contact with Reed.
Reed will kind of like...
Very terribly, like, what the hell are you doing here? And he motions his hand, and the other two stand up and grab their drinks and start drinking it and walk forward. And the commissioner looks over to you, and he's like, people you know?
Just a bunch of drunks.
I'm not a fool. And he turns around and just continues down the walkway towards it kind of goes down to a ramp to the dance floor, and then past the dance floor is the VIP. So you guys make this weird cross with one another, and as you're doing so, the redneck's just ignoring you, and the Russian guy is ignoring you, but the Irishman's like, and continues going.
Reed's just gonna have a pissed off look and just keep going, following the commissioner.
Yeah, so you follow the commissioner to the back table, and he sits down, and there's another lit cigar sitting in an ashtray. Down at it, picks it up, and then puts it out. As you sit down at the table with the commissioner, your eyes go over to the door, and the 3 of them are standing by the door going...
He's just gonna try to ignore them.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the commissioner notices. And then all of a sudden, Jörg, how do you enter this bar that you see? There's a bunch of drunk people out front. As a car with advertising like medicine drives by, green light shines on the building.
Probably with that lighting of the green light would probably kind of catch my eye, and I'll kind of like shriek away from it just from the blinding of the color hue of the green, and kind of like open up the door if it's a pull or push, or even use someone as they were opening it to kind of like catch it, let them out, and then go in. And I would actually, if you said it was like a couple tiers, right?
Yeah, you enter the upper tier, and then down below it is the dance floor. So the bartender's up on the upper tier. There's a ramp going to the dance floor, and then there's a bunch of like dark tables around the bottom floor.
And I don't know which way they went, and I can't really spot them, so I'm going to go 50-50 and say I go in and go left. If that's the right way they went, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you go in and you go left, and the next thing that you notice, I think, as you're taking all this in, if you could roll perception check to see how much you notice. But the one thing I'm going to give to you for free is that on this upper story, there are rooms along the top. That there's lots of doors that branch off into other rooms.
All right, perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use one of those doors, and if they're and kind of like go in, and then once I do, I want to feed into the communication of Lieutenant Reed, and so I can listen in on what's going on.
Okay, yeah, so you walk up to the first door, you try it, it's locked. Do you move to the second?
Yeah.
Yeah, you move to the second door, you open it, it's like, shkeek, you walk in, you shut it, and you hear, from behind you, and you kind of turn around quickly, and you see a blue female-like alien clearly having some sort of relations with another alien. It doesn't look normal, but they stop in the middle of it and they look at you and they're like, and they start yelling at you.
She doesn't scream and like throw her clothes in.
I'm sure she's used to this. She works here.
All right, so then I'll back out. There's people here, and I'll go to another one.
This door's locked.
They locked their
That was
door.
it? Only 3?
No, there's more. You keep going until you find the next unlocked door. You open it.
And I'll kind of open up, see if anybody's in there this time.
There's a droid in there, and there's a pile of clothes on the floor. And you hear the sink running in the bathroom. It looks like a hotel room, but there's a lot of red lighting in here.
I keep doing it until I find something that's not anybody in there.
Every room is preoccupied or has a locked door.
Okay, so the last, basically, one's open, one's closed. I'll go to the last one and just take my chances in there, and whatever's happening is happening.
That's when as you go to the last one, that's when you hear behind you, you know, I never took you as a peeping Tom.
And I'll kind of, like, I'm ignoring who that voice is, because I know very well, and because of the signal of what happened, like, oh, happens to be this one. Okay. And
you do know that he's the most discreet. I'll give you that. You've known the 3 of them. The Russian guy is the guy who oftentimes walks into a crowd and nobody notices him. I say Russian, but clearly there's no Russian in Star Wars. It's just easy for us to...
Yeah.
He's from the Rusan system.
Then I will...
The Rusan system.
Basically...
He's a native of Bespin. You won't guess where... Here in
I'll
Bespin, guess belong to all.
Perfect place for him.
I'll motion him to come in with me real quickly. Like...
Yeah, so the 2 of you come in. There's a couple people fornicating on the bed, but they don't seem to mind. Actually, one of them's like, ooh, and then they enjoy themselves more. The Russian guy's like, oh, ooh. So, come here, Jörg.
Breathe. Breathe.
Good to see you.
I'll look
Do
up
you smell
at him.
that?
I'll look up at him and says, Lieutenant Reed may be in trouble. I'm here to help. Keep an eye from a distance.
Great. Do you want me to take the other 2 outside the building? We could keep watch.
You do what you do. Urkaza is off planet. He's safe. He's with that Valerie.
Okay.
I did get your signal, and well,
Clearly,
yeah, I didn't know it was this one.
Yep. And he's like holding his hand up. He's like, I'm gonna go outside with Gaz. We check and make sure nobody else comes in. I believe more discreet that way, less chance of mistake if we let you do your thing.
Very well.
He nods and steps outside rather quickly.
Okay.
And then the moment the door shuts and it's just you and them, they're like, "Aww," but then they continue doing what they're doing.
And I take a seat, like wherever it is, just move their clothes a little bit, and maybe and then I'll start just working on it, not even paying attention to them.
Like working on your data pad or something,
Mhm.
or yeah,
Yeah, to
yeah. You
get
start working
connection.
on
get
on your
con-
data pad. That's not a problem.
It's to get connection with Lieutenant Reed's comm, so I can listen
Yeah.
in.
Lieutenant Reed, you hear? "Beep." It's a request to open comms.
Nope, not like that. I'm gonna try to hack into, like, if I can.
Oh, I think you want to roll
With-
skullduggery or a computer check.
think
Skullduggery will
computer
make the
check.
difficulty easier, but computer check, if you're more proficient, that's fine. You've
Yeah.
done this before. It would be 2 difficulty with skullduggery, 3 difficulty with the computer.
Wow, it's
Or actually, no, you know what? I'm going to go 2 difficulty with the computer, but a setback die.
Okay. So one. Actually, don't do it that way. Okay, so we're gonna go computers then. So it's gonna be two. Where is it? Up. 1 setback and 2 difficulty.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, did I say 2 difficulty?
Nope, you said 1 purple, 1 red.
I think I do want 1 purple, 1 red. Let me make sure that I properly activate that for you,
Okay.
because I don't want that to mess up.
Yeah, I would hate for that to happen too. And wow, okay. That's going to be fun.
You succeed. So yeah, you are now hearing what Reed and the commissioner are saying. Now,
Oh,
the
I
only
gotta
time
get
this
this.
will the only time this will ever get interrupted is if Reed communicates to someone else. That's what will break the open comms. So, now that I'm in a comfortable spot, you have questions for me? And he takes a drink. I never thought I'd see somebody from that side of the galaxy again.
Well, I hope it's good memories that I'm bringing.
He stares at you coldly. No, as a matter of fact, thinking of that galaxy brings me nothing but bad memories.
Well, sorry for that.
No matter. It doesn't concern you. What brings you here? Your entire fleet. How the hell did you use the gate? I don't understand.
Like I said, we were part of a research facility or research fleet, so we got some eggheads that worked it out and got the artifact activated.
Well, you're smarter than most eggheads because... He pauses. Well, even with Bale's knowledge of Sith artifacts, we can only send 1 ship through. A fighter.
Well, it seemed that the artifact was drawn in by a Sith coffin that was filled with some kind of crystal.
Sith coffin. Are you archaeologists?
We have archaeologists on in our fleet, yes.
And you
The
dig
good
up
doctor
Sith
that you spoke to.
artifacts.
I'd rather not for us not to do it, but
Yeah,
as you
for
can
good
see, I'm
reason.
only-
That's damn foolish, especially with Palpatine.
Well, it seemed that we drew in the wrong amount of attention, and they found us.
They found the gate.
Yes, but it looked like they were trying to destroy it, so maybe we got lucky.
No, they wouldn't destroy the gate. They know what those look like. Listen. It's important that I meet with your commander. He hesitates.
Yeah, I think that would be the best thing for us right now.
But first, we need to work on getting you some funds.
And that was the other question I was going to ask, how we can get funds.
Like I said, we need to take you to the lenders. You see that... could you roll a...
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm trying to find out what skill you should roll. I'm so used to Dungeons and Dragons, I can't remember what the sense motive for this game is. I guess it would be discipline, because it's a lot like
Okay.
getting lied to.
How many difficulty?
I'm going to say that your difficulty's 3.
It was
Okay.
skullduggery.
Skullduggery would work as well.
Oh,
'cause
either one. I
skullduggery is a cunning one.
only got 2 green in those, so
Mm.
I'm gonna have to use our light side point. And then upgrade my side.
Thank you.
And I'll try discipline. Sage. Oh, whoops. Son of a bitch. Forgot to clear that out.
That's fine. Mine's not showing at all. I have to relog in.
Oopsie.
Was the setback, so.
You could keep that if you want. I'm okay with this.
Well, even if I took it off, it'd just be a threat.
I'm going to say the threat is that he knows that you're, like, trying to figure him out.
Yeah.
Can we be honest here? He asks you.
He leans back. That depends on you.
No, it depends on you. What do you want to know? I asked you if you had questions, and you're being very cryptic about your questions. What do you want to know? I'm confused as to why you keep staring at me like there's something up your sleeve.
Well, for a guy that was on Coruscant and now is here and knows that we were being followed, just trying to figure you out.
Sorry, not good enough. I'm here to help you. I just want to make sure that none of the trouble that you had following you comes back on me. Is that understood?
Loud and clearly.
So?
All
What
I
can
want
I
to do
do?
is make it back home.
That's all you want to do, then you need to go see the lenders. Now, I don't recommend the loan sharks. They'll be easier to get the money out of, but they're pretty much a group of overglorified bounty hunters. Call themselves bankers to legitimize their business. However, the lending company is up on the top deck if you go to them tomorrow in the market district, and it's hard to miss their building. It's the giant gold one. You'll be able to meet with one of their representatives and discuss the potential of a loan, but they're not going to want to talk to some grunt. They're going to want to talk to the person in charge.
Which is why I would need my commander.
Nobody's stopping him from coming down. You have the permits, don't you?
Yes.
Bring him on that shuttle. It's discreet enough.
Okay. So where can I stay from then?
Right here, didn't I?
Here.
You can rent a room, but you don't have to use the services. He slides a card over. Enough for a week.
He takes the card, looks at it, and
It's like a weird silver card with a bunch of writing on it.
I'll just pocket it. Do you know of any other planets in this system?
Well, we're not in a system. We're the beacon. Think of us like a central hub. Most spacefaring ships analyze the codes to the jump gates and they jump to the next system. We haven't had any ships recently, but they usually come here every few days.
Okay. Do you have anybody in particular I can talk to that would be friendly to us?
Friendly, yes, but he and I are kind of rivals.
Rivals, you say?
Yes. Here. He writes down a bunch of information down. Written word is still the only way things can't get tracked. He hands you the card.
I'll take it and read it.
It actually says Mick on it. M-I-K. Mick.
Okay.
Mick is a rough and tumble sort, but if you wait here long enough, you might see him. Long black hair, scar across the cheek. It's really all you need to know. Everything else will be explained. You don't have to go ask around for him either because he doesn't have a whole lot of friends.
So when do you want to meet with my commander?
He reaches into his robe and pulls out this small little disc with a speaker on it, and it's got 3 silver prongs that go around the outside of the disc, and he hands it to you. That's a communicator between myself and this device. Give this device to your commander, and he'll be able to communicate me, and we'll sort things out.
He'll take it and go, all right.
All right, so he stands up and leaves. You're sitting there at the bar, just kind of like being nonchalant, I imagine. You're not going to get up right after him, right?
No, I'm just going to kind of sit there.
I'm going to say he buys you a drink.
Okay.
And then a waitress comes over, and she's got 3 breasts, and she smiles at you, and she places the drink down on the table in front of you, and then she turns around and walks away. She had orange skin.
Okay. He'll just kind of sit and nurse his drink for a little while.
Yeah, you're nursing your drink. A knock comes at the door, Gabe, and the people behind you are like, blah, 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 shouting at the door, but they're still going at it. The door opens, the Russian guy pokes his head back in. Yug, this is important. Oh, you're muted.
Wow, my mouse does not like clicking on that little unmute button. I'll take out the communication from my ear, and I'll kind of like just nod at him, like, go ahead.
Here you go. We have picture of man Reed was talking to. He hands you the data pad. It turns out that they waited outside for the commissioner to exit. When they did, they snapped a picture of him, and it's a good picture. I'll upload it. Maybe you can run facial recognition. I don't know what your spy stuff does, but I thought maybe give to you.
I'll connect. I'll actually download it or upload it download to my data pad.
Yeah, once you do that, he picks it up and then he looks at the bed and he's like, "Oh, good. It's just getting nasty," and he leaves. Meanwhile, on the ship, Valerie, why don't you explain to me what your bridge looks like?
All right, so we're walking down a long hallway. We pass a number of labs, and then we pass another section where you see these large globes on either side that are the sensor globes, and they go out. Then you come into the main bridge. And what it is, there's also some lab equipment that's on the main bridge. There are these 2 tables that are right by their side, and there's banks along the wall with more testing equipment and computer consoles and things there. And you go to a set of doors, and that's the door that goes into the bridge, into the actual bridge. That opens up some walls with some right behind it, more computer, probably stuff having to do with the bridge. And then you've got 4 chairs, one on one side here, and 2 that face forward. And those are the, pilot, co-pilot. These could be more labs, or they could be more people that are dealing with navigation or whatever. And so I guess that's when you go there, and that's where there would be several people. I don't know how many you have planned that have to break the tie.
Yeah, actually, Valerie, you lead Krakaza straight in. You just walk your way around these corridors and around the partitions as if you own the place. Krakaza's kind of like looking around. Krakaza, as a technician, you're kind of amazed. There's a lot of high-tech stuff on this boat. And stuff that you've never even seen. Like, as you walked by, you found their kinetic labs where they're playing with a magnetic field that can grab all the weapons because of the type of metal that weapons are made out of. So you just see them testing in the lab where it's like, shink, and then it just touches a globe and they high-five each other.
Can I just say that I would stop for a bit and look, kind of try and look behind, extend the look as I'm
your
walking.
Legs are still walking, but your head is leaning into the room. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
You've been holding out on me, Val.
And you come around the corner and you see another guy. How he puts in Hey, Krakaza. No cursing on my YouTube channel. They have a censorship thing out, I don't want to demonetize my channel, so please. Thank you, YouTube censors. I appreciate that. Anyway, so you guys are heading towards the bridge, and you see in one lab, this guy puts down a thermite explosive. Not in shielding or anything. And then hits a button, and he ignites it. A thermite imploder. Now, on the battlefield, you know these things go wow and blow up a vast, huge area. And as soon as he activates it, another guy comes out of the side, and he's holding this weird gun that looks like it's built in spare parts, but the gun is huge. It looks like he's holding a trash can to compare it. And he comes walking out, and he's got a backpack with blinders on, and he hits a button, and you hear... And as the thermite explosion activates, it goes... And it gets sucked into this gun. And the gun just goes, ding, charged. And, yeah, you guys continue walking towards the front of the ship. There are other people working on telekinesis. You can see somebody sitting in the room, and they're doing this, and this apple floats a little bit in the air, and they're like, yeah, success. But you get to the bridge following Valerie, and there are all of these bookie types of different species standing around in a circle, and they're like, Miss Hefta Chewy, finally, you can break this tie.
What is it?
We want the commander to step down. Half of us are agreed, half of us think he should stay in place.
Well, right now, he's not really going anywhere. He's in pretty bad shape, so somebody needs
Not
to...
the captain. We meant of the Destiny Horizon. Our stipulation on being part of the fleet is that the commander steps down.
What?
I look at Grakaza. That's news to me. I haven't heard that one.
No. Why'd you bring him here? They point to Grakaza.
Because he came with me on the shuttle.
Isn't he one of them?
Yes, he's a good one of them. He might be able to help. So just calm down.
How about you keep your mouth shut? Do what you're doing. Let us civilians talk about this. Valerie, this was really a matter for civilians. We're trying to make a decision. Do we separate from the fleet, or do we stay with the commander?
We stay with the commander.
I demand that if we stay with the commander's fleet, that he steps down. He should be imprisoned for sacrificing our planet.
Oh, this is one of the ones from one of the other...
these are all of the ship commanders.
Oh, from the ones who came up from the planet? Okay. I don't think he sacrificed your planet. I think that just sort of happened because of the Imperials.
Oh, yeah, we'll defend you. Defend my eye.
In case you didn't notice, we were facing several Imperial-class Star Destroyers. I don't know if you're familiar with the organization.
They hold their finger up.
And I roar in their faces.
Okay, roll a coercion, and you're going to roll it against 3 purple. Okay, for some reason, I'm not seeing any of the rolls. It just says dice roll results, but it looks like 2 failure, 1 threat on my other computer.
Yeah.
Or my other monitor. Okay, so they're just stone-facing you.
Well, that's new.
Will you kindly shut your mouth? Why don't we take the flea bag into the guest quarters?
He's staying right where he's at.
Valerie, you have a lot of sway with the crew of the Folly, by the way. You're kind of like the second in command.
All right.
So they back off and they're like,
Don't you? To the ones who are from the other ships. All right, you need to calm down, and you need to calm down now. I've been down to the planet. Actually, I've been down to the planet. Do you know
what he demanded?
Stop. I know exactly what happened. I was part of it. I crashed onto the ring.
He's demanding our fuel. He wants 30% of the fuel from every ship. He says it's important that we ration, and he feels it's better that he's in charge of all the fuel.
We might...
He also wants to Okay,
all right, stop. Right now, we're in negotiations with the people of the ring to get the ships down there for repairs. And repairs also, I'm sure, will mean more fuel. So once he finds this out, I'm sure he's going to rescind that order. But right now, don't worry. You keep your fuel. You stay where you're at. Don't go off on your own. We don't know where we're at. We're thousands and thousands, could be millions of light years away from our galaxy.
I would like you to make a roll. I'll let you choose between leadership, cool, or negotiation.
All right, let me look and see what. Hey. Leadership, cool, and negotiation. So, negotiation. Okay, those two they're kind of the same. All right, so I'm going to go with negotiation.
Okay, that's going to be against 2 purple because you have made an excellent argument. And thank you for role-playing so well.
Oh, you're welcome.
If you don't role-play well, I just make it incredibly difficult.
Thank you so much.
So if you're always wondering, why are my rolls so hard?
That's why.
Okay. I said negotiation, right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry. Oh, hey, it looks like it's trying to work.
I see two of those stars.
Success,
That's
triumph.
And what's the other one? Is it?
Holy crap! You triumphed.
It's a triumph. Oh, cool. It shows broken on mine, but then I just put
they all go
on it and said triumph.
You're right, Valerie. We have no reason to distrust the commander. We're just scared.
I know you're all scared.
It's good you're here to talk sense into us. We'll follow your lead.
All right.
In fact, there was another reason why we called you here. Everybody who's still in votes, say aye. Aye. Everybody raises their hands. Opposed?
Tittles raises.
Valerie, you've been a... Tittles is like... Devil's advocate. Valerie, we have all voted for you to become the envoy for the civilian ships. You represent us.
Okay, I accept.
Well, you don't have a choice. You've been voted. That's how this works.
Oh, that's true. I've never had that happen before.
Excellent.
Well, I thank you. And now, for my first order, all of you go back to your ships, calm your crews down, stay in orbit, and wait to hear what happens. We'll
rejoin with the Destiny Horizon. They nod.
Please.
And they all disperse and start leaving for their ships. And as soon as they do that, you see this weird purple gate open in front of you. It looks very familiar to you. It's not right in front of you. It's actually beyond the ring, but, you know, it's in front of you as far as perspective.
Oh, it's in space.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I thought it was on the bridge.
No,
I was like,
Q steps out and he's like, hello, funny people. No, but there's a purple gate that's opening up outside Beacon's orbit, probably equal distance to how you guys arrived at the ring.
Oh, so this is the other side. Okay.
Yeah, and it's opening up, and there are several large ships coming through. And that's where we're going to end part 2 and take our break to get ready for part 3.
Or was this part 3?
Oh, yes, this is part 3. We did that. Okay. I don't even know. You guys would have gotten 5 hours of awesome role-playing if it weren't for these dicks. No. Yeah, so this is the end of part 3. We're going into part 4. Yes, yes. I have everything together. I am a professional, damn it. All right, so we'll be back. Just tune in for part 4, and we'll find out what is going on at Beacon. Thank you very much. Have a good one.